My husband stopped looking at me like he used to. Every night, he'd scroll through his phone while I sat beside him in silence. Then one evening, my gym trainer said, "I can tell you need someone to talk to." That conversation turned into late-night texts. And one day, I didn't come home. When my husband finally noticed I was gone, I smiled and said, "You miss me now, but where were you then?" I'm a 37-year-old woman. I've been married for 14 years. We live in Milwaukee. 2 kids. A house in the suburbs. On paper, we look like we have it all together. But papers lie. My husband, Martin, used to be my best friend. We met in college. He made me laugh. He made me feel like the smartest, prettiest person in the room. That's who I married. That version of him doesn't exist anymore. It started slow. I didn't even notice at first. It wasn't like he turned into a monster. He didn't hit me. He didn't scream. But he stopped seeing me. That was somehow worse. He'd come home from work, barely say hi. He'd go straight to his phone. Sometimes I'd try to talk. Tell him what the kids did that day. Something funny Jonah said. Something sweet Ella made at school. He'd nod. Maybe a nice or cool without even looking up. I started counting how many words he'd say to me each night. One night it was 8. I asked him once, "Do you still love me?" He looked confused. Said, "What kind of question is that?" Didn't answer it. Just turned back to his phone. I stopped trying after that. I didn't cheat right away. This isn't one of those stories where someone just jumps into someone else's bed. I held on for a long time. I tried everything. I suggested date nights. I asked him if he wanted to go to therapy. I bought new clothes, changed my hair, cooked dinners he used to love. Nothing worked. Eventually, I just stopped talking. We'd sit on the same couch. Him glued to his screen. Me staring at the TV, not even watching it. Every night felt like I was sitting next to a stranger who didn't care I was there. I started going to the gym because I needed a break from the house. I needed something that wasn't laundry or packing lunches. I hadn't worked out seriously in years. I didn't even care that I was out of shape. I just wanted an hour to myself. That's where I met Jesse. He's a trainer at this local gym near the lake. Not fancy. Not the kind with mirrors everywhere and girls in matching outfits. Just weights, sweat, and people trying to do better. Jesse was kind from the start. Not fake nice. Just real. He remembered my name. Asked how I was doing each session. One evening, I was quiet. Couldn't focus. He looked at me during a water break and said, "You okay? You seem like you've got a lot on your mind." I shrugged. Said, "I'm fine." He didn't push, just nodded. Then he said, "Well, if you ever want to talk, I'm a good listener." That stuck with me. Because Martin hadn't said anything like that to me in years. At first, it was nothing. A little extra small talk after workouts. Then a few texts here and there. He'd check in to make sure I was sticking to the routine. Then it turned into memes. Songs. Late night, "How was your day?" messages. He was funny, but also kind. He noticed when my energy was off. One night, I opened up. I didn't plan to. I was just feeling low. Jesse texted me a song and asked how I was doing. I told him the truth. That I felt like a ghost in my own house. That I could disappear and Martin wouldn't notice for days. He replied, "You deserve better than that. You really do." I cried reading that. Because no one had said anything like that to me in so long. I'm not going to pretend I was innocent. I knew where this was going. I could feel it. The butterflies. The anticipation when Jesse texted. The warmth in my chest when he smiled at me. It felt like cheating even before anything physical ever happened. But I didn't stop. Because it felt good. For once, I felt seen again. Martin never noticed. Never asked who I was texting. Never looked up. If he did, he didn't care. The night it finally happened, I didn't plan it. The kids were with my mom. I finished a late workout. Jesse offered to walk me out to my car. It was cold. I was shivering. He gave me his hoodie. Then he just looked at me. Quiet. Soft. Like he saw everything I was feeling. He didn't kiss me. I kissed him. And then I didn't go home. The next morning, I didn't rush back. I turned off my phone. Drove around for hours. Checked into a motel by the highway. No luggage. Just me and my thoughts. And guilt. And also, relief. That night, I finally turned my phone back on. Martin had texted once, "Where are you?" I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I replied, "I needed space." He didn't text back. No big dramatic scene. No storming out. Just absence. It wasn't even about Jesse anymore. It was about finally feeling like I had control of my life for the first time in years. When I finally walked back through the door, Martin was sitting at the kitchen table. He looked like he hadn't slept. He said, "You left." I nodded. He asked, "Why?" I said, "You haven't looked at me in months." "Not really." He looked down. Said nothing. I stood there, my bag still in my hand, and said, "You miss me now. But where were you when I was sitting next to you every night in silence?" No ending yet. I don't know what happens next. We haven't told the kids anything. We sleep in separate rooms now. He wants to fix things. I don't even know if I want to. Jesse isn't pressuring me. He says he'll wait if I need space. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out who I am. Because for a long time, I forgot. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. I don't know if I'm the villain or the victim. Maybe both. Maybe neither. I just know I was drowning. And someone saw me. That matters. It's been 2 weeks since I came back. He hasn't asked where I was the night I left. He hasn't asked who I was with. That silence is starting to feel like a lie all on its own. It was raining. I'd just finished a session at the gym. Jesse asked if I wanted to grab a smoothie. I hesitated, then said yes. We sat in his car, listening to the rain, sipping drinks in silence. Then he said, "So, are you going back to him?" I didn't know what to say. I was caught off guard. "I don't know," I said quietly. "I don't even know who I am anymore." He nodded. Looked away. Then said something I didn't expect. He called me. My heart dropped. "Martin?" Jesse nodded. I felt my body go ice cold. What did he say? Jesse was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "He asked if anything happened between us." I told him I'd rather he ask you. My stomach twisted so hard I thought I might throw up. I grabbed the door handle and got out into the rain without thinking. He called Jesse? He knew? Martin was waiting in the living room when I got in. The lights were off. Just one lamp on. "Where were you?" he asked. I didn't lie. With Jesse. His jaw clenched. He nodded slowly, like he already knew. "Did you sleep with him?" His voice didn't even shake. Just cold. I said nothing. Silence again. Then he said, "You could have just told me you wanted out." That broke something in me. I snapped. "I did. I begged you to look at me. I sat next to you night after night while you stared at your damn phone. I tried everything. You didn't see me. I was out. You just didn't notice." His face twisted in pain. He looked away. I think that hurt more than yelling would have. Then he said it. "I've been seeing someone too." "What?" He looked me dead in the eyes. "A woman from work. We didn't sleep together. But, it was headed that way. It's over now." I stood there, dizzy. Angry. Not because he cheated. But because it made everything more confusing. "You were already gone," I said. He nodded. "Yeah. I was." We stood in silence again. So much silence. Then he said something I didn't expect. "Do you want to try? I mean, really try? Not for the kids. For us." I didn't answer. Because in that moment, I didn't know. I write everything down. Not with details, but feelings. Anger. Guilt. Confusion. She found it in my closet while looking for a sweater. She came into the kitchen crying. "Are you and Dad getting a divorce?" My heart shattered. "No," I said, hugging her tight. "We're just figuring things out." That night, I cried harder than I have in years. It said, "I can't keep doing this unless you're honest, with me and with him. I care about you, but I'm not a secret. I deserve more than that." He was right. I dragged him into this mess. He didn't ask for it. But now I had to face what I'd been avoiding. I was standing in the middle of two lives. Here's the real mess: I don't hate Martin. I don't fully trust him either. I care about Jesse. But I don't know if that care is real or if it's just me clinging to the only person who saw me when I felt invisible. My therapist says I need time. But time feels cruel. The kids are noticing. My friends ask why I look so tired all the time. I lie and say I'm just busy. Truth is, I'm at war inside my own head. I want to feel alive again. I want to be wanted. I want to be honest. I want to stop hurting people. But I don't know how to get all those things at once. And here's what's killing me, I don't know if I ever really loved Martin. Or if I just loved the idea of what we had in the beginning. Maybe we were just too young. Maybe we grew in opposite directions. Or maybe love fades when no one waters it. I haven't talked to Jesse in days. Martin started cooking dinner again. He tells me he's reading books on relationships. He's trying so hard now. But it feels like pouring water into a pot that's already burned. I don't know what happens next. I'm not sure if this ends in divorce or a second chance or something in between. All I know is, for the first time in years, I feel like the choices are finally mine. And that's both terrifying and freeing. It's been 3 weeks since everything cracked open. Martin knows. I know. Jesse knows. And now, even my daughter Ella suspects something. We're still in the same house, still sharing a roof, but it doesn't feel like home anymore. It feels like limbo. Every room carries the weight of things unsaid. At first, I thought the worst part was over. The secrets were out. The pain was already spilled. But I was wrong. Because once the truth comes up, more of it keeps rising, like rot from under floorboards. Martin changed his password. I noticed it one morning when I tried to use his laptop to check something for Jonah's school. I typed in the old one, our anniversary, and it said incorrect. Tried again. Still wrong. That night I asked, casually, you change your password? He looked up from his plate. Yeah. Work stuff. Security update. I nodded. But something about the way he said it made my stomach turn. I tried to let it go. But it stuck in my head like a splinter. And you know how it is when your gut starts whispering, especially when you've already seen how easily someone can hide a part of their life. One of Martin's coworkers messaged me. Her name is Tara. We've never really spoken, except at company events. She always seemed polite. But her DM was short. I just thought you should know, your husband and Erica were more than friends. A lot more. My hands were shaking. Erica. That was the woman Martin said he had a small thing with. Just feelings. Nothing happened, he said. Tara's message made it sound like something did. I asked her outright. She sent screenshots. Texts. One of them from months ago, I can't stop thinking about that night. When are we doing that again? That was from Martin. I couldn't breathe. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I sat across from him and put my phone on the table. Tara messaged me, I said. He froze. Didn't ask who. Didn't even flinch. She showed me your messages to Erica. His jaw tightened. What did you read? All I needed to. He nodded. Looked down at his hands. It wasn't just emotional. It happened once. I didn't want to lie. But when you left that night, I figured it didn't matter anymore. I stared at him. It happened before I left. He didn't deny it. He betrayed me. I betrayed him. But for some reason, his betrayal felt worse. Maybe because he watched me fall apart and still kept secrets. Maybe because he sat across from me pretending to want to fix us, while still lying. I slept on the couch that night. Jesse came to the house. He didn't knock. He texted me first. Said he needed to talk, in person. I told him to meet me outside. I didn't want the kids hearing anything. He stood in the driveway, hands in his jacket pockets, looking nervous. I'm not here to cause problems, he said. But I need to be honest with you. I braced myself. I got offered a job. Out of state. In Denver. Full-time trainer. Better pay. Clean start. I didn't take it yet. But I need to know where I stand before I do. I stared at him, the wind cutting through the space between us. My throat felt tight. You're asking me to choose, I said. I'm asking you to be honest. Not with me. With yourself. He wasn't angry. He just looked tired. And hurt. I didn't have an answer. I still don't. A week later, I found out something that made everything feel even more tangled. I missed my period. I didn't panic right away. I've been irregular before. Stress, age, whatever. But after 5 days, I took a test. Alone. In the bathroom while the kids were at school. Jesse had texted me that morning just to say thinking of you. The test came back positive. I stared at that little plus sign for what felt like hours. It was like the air got sucked out of the room. Everything stopped. I don't know whose it is Martin wants to fix things, but only now that everything's broken. Jesse wants a real chance, but might be leaving the state. My kids need stability. But I'm barely holding it together. And now I might be pregnant, with no idea what that means or who the father is. I haven't told anyone yet. Not Martin. Not Jesse. Not even my therapist. I keep thinking I'll wake up and it'll all be some strange nightmare. But it's real. Every second of it is real. I used to think the worst thing that could happen was being alone in a marriage. Now I realize it's worse to finally be seen and still not know who you are. I don't have a plan. All I know is, something's coming. Something has to change. And soon. It had been a month since I took the test. I was 7 weeks along. I told no one. Not Martin. Not Jesse. Not even my therapist, though I almost slipped once. I walked into that room ready to talk, and just sat there. Couldn't get the words out. I told myself I needed time. I told myself I'd figure it out. But the truth is, I was scared. Not just of what the test meant, but of what I had become. I wasn't the woman I used to be. I was someone new. Someone I didn't recognize most days. And now, I was going to be a mother again, maybe with a man I barely knew, or with a husband I no longer trusted. He turned 9. We threw him a party in the backyard. Just family and a few school friends. Balloons, pizza, music, and small talk. One of those perfectly normal, suburban Saturdays. Jesse didn't come. Obviously. Martin invited his parents, which he didn't warn me about. His mom, Diane, has always been observant. That woman doesn't miss a thing. Halfway through the party, I caught her watching me from the kitchen. Just staring while I cut cake. Later, she cornered me in the hallway. "You don't look well," she said quietly. "Are you pregnant?" It was like getting slapped. I froze. Swallowed hard. My hands were shaking. I didn't answer. That was enough for her. She stepped back. Looked me over again. Then whispered, "Is it Martin's?" I don't know how she did it, but she told him. I don't know when or how, if it was at the party, or after. All I know is, the next morning, Martin stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door shut behind him. "You're pregnant," he said, voice sharp. "How long were you planning on hiding it?" I sat up in bed, heart pounding. "I was going to tell you." "When?" "After the baby's born?" I didn't know what to say, he cut me off. "Is it mine?" There it was. The question I'd been trying not to ask myself. "I don't know," I said, almost in a whisper. He stood there, breathing hard. His face was flushed red, and for a second I thought he was going to throw something. Then he laughed. But not the kind of laugh you want to hear. It was bitter. Broken. "You didn't know what to say? You cheated, and now you're pregnant, and you thought you could just figure it out?" I tried to speak but he kept going. "You ruined everything. You know that?" I didn't know he was outside the door. I didn't even hear him until I heard his voice, "Mom?" Martin froze. I opened the door. Jonah was standing in the hallway in his pajamas, clutching his stuffed bear. "Are you and Dad fighting again?" My throat closed up. I got down to his level and said, "We're just talking, sweetie. Go back to bed." He nodded slowly and walked away. But I knew. That kind of moment stays with a kid. That broke me more than anything else. He had no idea. I hadn't answered his texts in days. He said he was coming over to say goodbye. He'd taken the job in Denver. He was leaving in a week. I asked him to come inside. Sat him down. Looked him in the eyes. "I'm pregnant." He blinked. Sat still. Then asked, "Is it mine?" "I don't know." He stared at the floor for a long time. Then he said, "If it is, what do you want from me?" "I don't know," I said, for what felt like the 100th time that week. "You can't keep floating between two lives," he said, voice soft but steady. "It's not fair. Not to me, not to him, and not to you." I didn't plan this. No one plans this, he said. But now it's here. You have to decide who you want to be. He got up to leave. I grabbed his hand, but he gently pulled it away. I love you, he said. But I'm not your escape hatch. And just like that, he walked out. Martin slept at a hotel for 2 nights. His mom texted me once, I hope you're happy. My sister, who'd been suspicious for weeks, called to ask if the rumors were true. I didn't deny anything. The guilt was heavy. But oddly, so was the relief. It was all out now. There were no more secrets left to hide behind. Martin moved into the guest room when he came back. We told the kids we were taking a break. Ella cried for days. Jonah just got quiet. I started seeing a family therapist with them twice a week. We didn't mention the pregnancy. Martin and I barely spoke. When we did, it was civil, dry, like strangers who used to know each other well but forgot why they did. Jesse left town. I haven't heard from him since. Paternity test. It's Martin's. When I told him, he cried. But it didn't change much. I don't know how to love you again, he said. I want to. I just can't find it. I understood. Because I couldn't either. I've started looking for a new place. Somewhere small. Just for me and the kids. We agreed on shared custody. We agreed on honesty moving forward. We didn't agree on forgiveness. Because some things don't snap back into place once they're broken. I still go to therapy. Still walk by the lake when I need to breathe. The baby is due in 6 months. I'm scared. But also, calm. Like I'm finally facing everything, not hiding from it. I used to think betrayal was the end of everything. But it wasn't. It was the beginning of something else. A different life. A harder one. But also a more honest one. If you're reading this and you're in that place, that lonely, quiet space where you're screaming inside and no one notices, please listen to me, that silence is the sign. And you don't have to wait for it to explode to start choosing yourself.